from the news department of the Liberia Broadcasting System in Painesville. Good evening and welcome to Newsline, a full hour of news, views, counter views, comments, background reports, and in-depth analysis issues all about Liberia and the rest of the world. Today is Thursday, July 4, 2024. I'm Alpha Rogers anchoring. In the headlines tonight, President Joseph Boakai describes the launch of the Employees Status Regularization Project as a major step towards public sector transparency and accountability. ECOWAS Commission President Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure describes critical challenges on fighting the sub-region. Justice in chambers at the Supreme Court places stay order on Councillor Dempster Brown's decision to withhold the salaries of 4 commissioners of the INCR. And away from whom at least 25 soldiers in the Democratic Republic of Congo sentenced to death. Details of these interesting stories plus more, including the news in simple Liberian English, French, and Newsline Sports, all coming up right after the news bulletin read for us by Fabien Quia.
President Joseph Boakai has described the launch of the Employee Status Regularization Project as a significant step towards the achievement of the arrest agenda. According to President Boakai, the arrest agenda, which remains a vital operational tool of the government, is being implemented with transparency and accountability. The Liberian leader believes the project remains crucial to the promotion of a transparent, efficient, and credible civil service that enhances national growth and development. Speaking at the official launch of the project in Monrovia, President Boakai noted the efforts of the civil service agency for adding dignity to the Liberian workforce. The president maintained that the approach will not only restore the dignity of civil servants but will equally generate revenue for the government. President Joseph Boakai has mandated ministries, agencies, and commissions promoting decentralization programs to begin the effective implementation of the Revenue Sharing Act, especially Chapter 7.2. Chapter 7.2 of the Act calls for the retention of 40% of all revenues generated at county service centers. President Boakai said the move will help address the old-age financial challenges that have impeded the effective and efficient operation of the county service centers.
In consideration of the implementation or implementing the law, the following decisions are herewith directed with our desire as a government to demonstrate strong political will and to indicate that the government is ready to move this decentralization program forward.
The president has also directed ministries, agencies, and commissions linked to the county service centers to decentralize approvals authority to their respective representatives. President Boakai spoke Thursday in Congo Town when he chaired the Interministerial Committee on Decentralization meeting. Civil Service Agency has blocked 689 individuals from the payroll of 49 spending government entities. CSA Director General Josiah Jokai disclosed that the individuals were blocked for duplication of national identification numbers. Mr. Jokai made a disclosure Thursday at the official launch of Employee Status Regularization Project in Monrovia.
As a direct result of the blocking action by the CSA, the government will save $223,413.84 month and United States dollars $2.6 million annually.
He says CSA remains steadfast to ensuring total reform at spending government entities, noting that such move will be done through consistent law and policy. The CSA boss, however, thanked government line ministries and agencies, especially the Ministry of Information, for the strong collaboration. ECOWAS Commission President Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure has spoken of increasing terrorism, military coups, and limited resources to ECOWAS institutions that are stalling the progress of institutions. Dr. Toure said it will take decisive actions and concerted effort by member states to solve the emerging challenges facing the sub-region. The ECOWAS Commission President was speaking Thursday at the opening of the 92nd section of the Council of Ministers in Abuja, Nigeria.
Despite our entreaties in the form of softening of sanctions, invitations of the government to technical meetings, and requests for meetings, we have not yet gotten the right signals from these member states. We have, however, gotten positive response from the Republic of Guinea.
Dr. Umar Aliyu Toure managed the ministers to use the two-day meeting at their advantage to reshape the future of ECOWAS. Liberia is being represented at the meeting by Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti. Meanwhile, Dr. Umar Aliyu Toure says the ECOWAS Commission has succeeded in getting Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to reinstate their memberships with the regional body. Earlier this year, the three countries suffering military juntas suspended their memberships from ECOWAS, citing sanctions and trade restrictions imposed on them by the body. But speaking at the 92nd session of the Council of Ministers in Abuja, Nigeria, the ECOWAS Commission President, however, boasted of succeeding in its negotiation with Guinea.
You will be presented with a State of the Community report highlighting the socio-economic, security, and political situation of our community, as well as the contribution of ECOWAS institutions in addressing socio-economic, political, and security issues affecting the region.
Dr. Umar Aliyu Toure acknowledged changes in the international system are having an impact on efforts by ECOWAS to restore constitutional order in countries affected by coups. He proposed a special summit solely focused on the finding amicable solutions to the many challenges facing the institution and urged the ministers to forge a common front in their new deliberations. The Justice in Chambers at the Supreme Court, Justice Yusuf Kaba, has placed a stay order on Councillor Dempster Brown's decision to withhold the salaries of 4 commissioners of the INCHR. Justice Kaba's July 4 rate of prohibition also instructed Councillor Brown to file his returns on or before July 10 to show cause why the rate as prayed for by the 4 commissioners should not be granted. The 4 commissioners, Mohammed Famula, Nivara Reis Onoba, Patmilia Do Pave, and Pindaras Allison, had earlier filed a writ of prohibition before the Justice in Chambers for the alleged seizure of the salaries by the boss Councillor Dempster Brown. Judge Kaba's decision followed a conference between the aggrieved I and ACR commissioners on Thursday in response to a 7-count petition filed by one of the petitioners, Councillor Nivara Reis Onoha, on their behalf. The Senate has endorsed the establishment of a new city and demolition of structures in waterways causing massive flooding across the country. It followed report from its Joint Committee on Public Works, Lands, Mines, and Public Cooperation Tuesday. The committee also recommended the creation of massive awareness on the zoning law and effective maintenance of drainages aggravating flooding across the country. The report also recommends that the Liberal Land Authority and the Ministry of Public Works hold the issuance of wetlands lease and design climate-smart road and infrastructures to avoid a devastating effect of climate change. Meanwhile, the Senate has mandated its Committee on Modernization to review documents relating to the establishment of a new city and report as soon as possible. The coordinator of the Liberal Urban Resilience Project, Gabriel Flabo, says the role of the media in the successful implementation of the project is vital. The Public Works Ministry is implementing the Liberal Urban Resilience Project and the Monrovia Integrated Development Project funded by the World Bank and French Development Agency. According to Mr. Flabo, the media role will be to monitor and report on how the project's activities are being implemented and their impact on the public. He also said besides the media will engage relevant stakeholders about the projects and hold them accountable on the usage of the funding provided, among others. Mr. Flabo spoke Thursday in Monrovia day-long media training on project reporting on Liberal Urban Resilience Project. Meanwhile, the participating journalists thanked the organizers' training for building the capacities on the project's reporting and called for more training. United Nations Resident Coordinator Christy Yumotune has assured the Liberian government of development partner support to its development priorities. Madam Yumotune said development partners in the country will continue to partner with government to ensure its development roadmap for the country is achieved. She made a statement Thursday during a panel discussion at the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Decentralization meeting in Town.
The UN and partners will always align with government's vision and priorities. We commit to continuous partnerships, and we believe that we will continue to work with all our partners to make sure that the plans of the government be fulfilled.
The UN resident coordinator also described decentralization as critical gap towards enhancing socio-economic development. Madam Yumotone believes promoting decentralization will also ensure accountability and transparency at the sub-national level.
Fabian Kuya in the news bulletin. She returns a little later. That's when you listen to our international news. This is Newsline on Elbc Radio. One of the big stories we're following: the justice in chambers at the Supreme Court places stay order on Councillor Dempster Brown's decision to withhold the salaries of 4 commissioners of the INCHR. To this one now, the 92nd ordinary session of ECOWAS Council of Ministers has opened in Abuja, Nigeria, with several key issues under discussion. The meeting is attended by member states that are not under ECOWAS sanction. Havli Kamara is attending the ordinary summit of ECOWAS in Abuja, where he now reports.